Gold and silver have been fighting. They've been constricted. They've been constrained all throughout 2022 by a strong U.S. dollar, which was the result of aggressive monetary policy by the Federal Reserve. But it was only a matter of time until the other countries throughout the world, including, most recently, one of our big allies, fought back. And that's just what happened on Monday of this week. Did you see the price of gold and silver? Heck, silver was up 5% on Monday. And you might be asking why. Why did it go up so much on Monday? It did because the Bank of Japan, of all people, right? The country that's been the most easy with monetary policy for decades, they finally had to submit and say, you know what, we're going to be more aggressive with our monetary policy. It's not that complicated, but when they did that, that made their value of their currency go up and the value of the US dollar go down. And that might just be a little taste of what we have to look forward to in the coming months, quarters, and years. Let's dig into it right now. So we're well aware that for the last year, the Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell and his cohorts scattered throughout the country have been on a campaign of aggressive, tight monetary policy. That did make the dollar go up. That made foreign currencies go down. The yen went down. The euro went down. But on Monday, we got news out of Japan, which indicated they too were going to start essentially tightening their monetary policy. They've been engaged in yield curve control, printing money like crazy, their central bank, and buying long-term bonds to keep the rates down. They announced they were going to let that rate float a little bit by 0.5%. One way or the other. That sent the yen going up. That sent the dollar going down. That sent silver and gold skyrocketing. But what does all of this mean? Guys, you have to understand the bond market. Most of us, we just don't, and I forget it all the time as well. The bond market in the world is much bigger than the stock market. The bond market is like the heart of the world economy. So moves in the bond market are much more impactful, let's say, than moves in the stock market. The stock market tends to react to the bond market for that matter. And silver and gold also react to the bond market. But what we're seeing now are countries like Japan saying, we can't deal with this uber strong dollar. We need to fight back. And they talked about that a few weeks back. They talked about selling U.S. treasuries to buy yen. But earlier this week, they made a major move when they finally, after decades of easy money policy, started to send up flares, send out messages that we're going to have to start tightening things up too. This could mean they may even be having inflation in Japan, which they've been fighting deflation for years and years. On a big picture, this was massive that this happened, okay? This was not expected and could be a precursor for what we could be looking forward to in the year 2023. And just in case when you're at one of those fancy cocktail parties at the country club this weekend, you want to talk about some specifics, I'm going to give you some specifics right now. This is very interesting. The Bank of Japan tweaked their yield curve control policy. It was a move to improve market functioning. They're basically going to let their 10-year bond move by 50 basis points one way or the other from where they had been pegging it since 2016. Previously, that had been 0.25 or 25 basis points, 0.25%. They left their benchmark interest rate at negative 0.1%. So what makes this a big cluster bomb, folks, is that, yeah, they're going to let their rate float, but they're still printing money over there and using the printed money, right, the unicorn fart dust money, to still buy bonds. And I think they're still buying ETFs too. The whole world, the whole financial, when you compare Japan and what's going on in Europe with the euro, and you can and then what's going on in the United States, we could go on for hours about all this. These big Western financial systems are literally held together with bubble gum and duct tape. If you enjoy my content, I enjoy having you here. Even if you don't enjoy my content, I enjoy having you here. You're always welcome in Ron's Basement. I make a video every day. You can think of me if you want, like a friend for life. You can subscribe right here. Turn on the ring-a-ling-ding-a-ling bell. Please give the video a thumbs up. Now let's get back to the pertinent information. Doesn't it feel like the ship is sinking, but the USA and the Euro countries and Japan and some of our other allies, like the ship's going down, but they're in the dining room, like fighting over who's going to get the best table for dinner? Hey guys, you got bigger fish to fry. Things are getting interesting. One thing we do know for sure, while it may be a bunch of unicorn fart dust, bubblegum, and duct tape, this silver is real. So is gold. And they've been around for thousands and thousands of years. And they are growing in stature yet again within the world's financial system, monetary system. They've been around for all those years. They'll be around for many years to come. It's been rocky. It'll continue to be rocky. But I personally believe the future looks bright for the precious metals. Hey, I don't have a crystal ball. Don't make any financial decisions based upon what I'm saying here in my basement in St. Louis. It's something I feel passionately about. I feel passionately about connecting with you, and I'll see you next time.